Alright guys, it's that time. Just got the injectors back from FIC. I did have these cleaned by Michael and they were fine, but then we had that one weird situation with the one injector on cylinder 6 not working. They did test them all and cylinder 6 worked for them. It was completely fine. But we then noticed, where I didn't really look too hard, that in the plug of this injector, there was some gunk in there and it wasn't very clean. And also, there was some gunk in the plug, but I cleaned it out already. It's all ready to go again. It's back to brand new. No more gunk, no more crap in there. And I think what happened was there was with the oil leak from the valve cover, I think some oil leaked down into the plug over time and caused it to foul out, which means it was not firing, which makes sense. And one other thing we found out why the engine went. So, all in all, these injectors still did need to be cleaned, but there's also other factors in the engine, well, the support for the engine as injectors or wiring or something like that that did cause this failure. Like again, like 1JZs are not bad engines. They last forever, but when you have faulty things supporting it, you're going to lose engines like I did. And it sucks because what happened was just kind of freak accidents. It wasn't anything that you would ever like look into, as in like a bad wiring that you didn't know from an old harness that was bad or something like that. But you can't go back in time. It's over with now. All we can do now is just proceed from here and have the right setup and have no more failures. Alright, so have the ECU Master software right here. I want to test the injector itself before I started the car, because I want to start the car, I have a misfire again if it did. But we'll test the injector now and see what happens. If you hear a click, 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 then we are good to go to fire the car up. So let's test it. It works. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So cylinder 6 is now for sure firing, which is a great sign. So it's time to finally fire up the 1.5 JZS13 for the, well, first time, but it's the first time with it running properly. So I'm really excited to hear this thing, how it sounds with the new exhaust and with the 1.5 JZ 3-liter bottom end. So I'm really excited, so let's go. So this injector is still good, it works, but I wanted to be safe. I got one replacement injector, brand new, same one as the other ones. These were all warranted, but they all were fine. So 100% proof now that since Michael did it at his company, cleaned them and flow tested them, they were great. And now FIC also went through them and looked at them, so there's double the proof there. These are fine and good and ready to go. So, like I said, regardless though, we're gonna ditch this one, keep this one as a spare, put a brand new one on cylinder 6, and this thing should fire up and sound freaking sick. Here we go. Alright, so really weird. It sounds great. Engine sounds healthy, but there's some kind of weird noise. It sounds like coming from the head. I can't confirm what it is now. Before, on one of the other engines, we did have an issue where a shim kept popping out of place every time the cam went out, and it kind of sounds like that again. I'm going to bring it to Alberto's tonight, and we'll diagnose the issue then. Hopefully it's just like nothing big. But also, when I did put these BC cam gears on one time, we put the bolt on, and the bolts were too long, and they kept hitting the bolt for the back plate, and it kind of sounds like that too. I don't know exactly yet, but I'm not going to run it anymore until I start it and get it on the trailer and then bring it to Alberto, so we don't got to cause anything, you know, God forbid. But why can't you just start and run perfect? Why? But it should be okay, hopefully, fingers crossed, but we'll see what happens. Alright, made it to Alberto's shop. We're going to first pull the valve covers and try to diagnose the noise. We literally just turned it on again and listened to it, and we can't really figure out what it is, but it's definitely coming from the head, which is good. So hopefully we can diagnose it. On my other engine, like I said before, one of the shims kept popping out, kept popping out every time the cam loped around, and that kind of sounds like what it is, but I could be wrong, but we'll see. But all the clearances were triple checked before we put the stuff in there, and you know, it's kind of just weird. Alberto's confused too. What do you think it is?
Your engine is broken.
Don't say that. Damn it. It's not broken. It's just something. There's a little defect we got to figure out. But my luck. But it's not like it's blown up or anything. It sounds great. All right, so I got everything taken apart. Valve cover's over here. I'll put up what's next.
Well, I'm gonna spin the engine and check the valve lash clearance everywhere to see if anything changed there. Something's not in spec that we know what our suspect is. So let's start by doing the easiest thing first and keep digging.
Yeah, I mean, we did triple check the clearances before we put this together, and it was correct. So we're just kind of, confused right now. So hopefully we can figure it out. Alright, so I took it all off and checked all the clearances, and they are a little bit different on the intake side for some reason. We're not too sure why. Not really common to happen, honestly. And we wrote it all down, and the intake side is definitely different than before, because before, all the clearances were right here, and definitely a lot different than before. So weird. Very weird, but the bright side is not that big of a deal. All we'll do is take it apart, re-clearance it, and basically put it back in the car, and then continue on, and it should be fine. That drastic of a change will definitely make that noise. I'm pretty sure that's what I thought it was in the first place. So hopefully we can get it fixed tonight and get this thing settled. So got a lot of stuff taken apart, whole front ends apart, cam gears, and all that kind of good stuff. Now we're pulling all the cam caps off to redo all the clearances on the head. So hopefully this will fix the issue, which it definitely will, because that is proof right there. So a little bit of work. It sucks, but it's better to just do it right and get this thing over with. But I'll bring that.
This is the last straw.
What do you mean it's the last straw?
You're putting an RB in the car.
No. There will never be an RB in any of my vehicles. Honestly, that's why I can't stand Skylines. Like, Skylines, people are like, oh, I love Skylines. They're so cool. And I'm like, I couldn't give a freaking shit about Skylines. One, because they're pretty ugly to me. And two, they're really expensive. And three, they have shit engines, unless you have a lot of money to put into them. So I can't talk. Yeah, I blew up a few engines, but that's not because of the engine itself. Because like I said before, the things supporting it. Mistake.
What I'm happy about this is instead of actually sending it and pushing it through, you actually cared and brought it back, and we're actually going over it.
Oh yeah.
Sure it's 100%.
I mean, even if this was my first engine that made that noise, I wouldn't have freaking moved the car an inch. You know what I mean?
You would have.
No.
I've seen you.
I've never done that. Ever. I have not. I would not. But yeah, this has to be dealt with. But we're on it. So before we took this apart, we did, kind of really listen to where it was coming from, and it definitely sounded like it was coming from the intake side. So now that we have this off and check the clearances again, the exhaust side does not have to be changed or re-clearanced. That is fine. It's in spec, so that's good. So now we're only going to do the intake side, which saves time, and it will be right in the end. So I can't wait to get this thing done. On the home stretch, just got to do the clearances with the shims, put them back in, and then tidy all this up, and then get out of here and go drive and get this thing tuned. So right now we're just checking to make sure all the valve keepers are intact and making sure there's no damage. So far so good. Looks good. So that's very good as well. Always want to check over that on a new engine, make sure it's perfect before, God forbid, anything has happened, but looks good to me. So what do you think? Good?
Looks good so far.
Good.
So far.
Yeah. All right, got all the new shims all into spec. Now we're reinstalling them back into the car. Hopefully this will fix the issue. I ain't praying to God. Took forever. We had to go through every single spare.
I had to measure all of it. Show them. Look how many I had to measure.
We had to go through every single one of these.
All of those.
All of those. And
then
then another
all
bag.
these.
And all these to get the correct measurements that are in tolerance for what we need. He's had enough. I've had enough. I just want to drive this damn thing already. But,
yeah, with all the work I put, I think I'm driving it before you are.
There's an event tomorrow. You could drive if you wanted to. Oh boy. Well, back to square one again. So we had a very weird issue. In the video, you kind of heard like a little rattle. We thought it was in the head, and it was not. We don't know exactly what it was until we did the valve lash a few different times. We thought it was something in the head making a rattle noise, and the valve lash was correct, and it was not that. And then we are like, okay, well, worst case scenario, we got to pull the engine again and just check the bottom end to make sure everything's okay. We checked the bottom end, and everything looked fine. But then we, last thing we could check is piston slap. And obviously the GE engines have been ran a long time, and the stock bore for the cylinder walls is 86 millimeter. And over time you can get some wear in there, but if it's off by a tiny bit, it can slap. So we noticed that there was a little bit of, not bad wear, but not correct wear on the piston. And then we put the piston ring in the cylinder wall and measured it at the top, and it was fine. And went a little bit further down, about a ½ inch further down, and it was a different size clearance. And that can be enough to cause the issue we had, which really freaking sucks. And yeah, I have the worst luck. It's really tough to continue on doing this engine stuff. A, because patience, B, time, and C, it costs a ton of money to do this stuff. And I want to do it on a budget, but it is a few weeks later, and I had an opportunity to make the choice to do a better route. So I had one choice, which was A, get another block and hone that one. Not hone it, but clean it up, measure the clearances, and use those pistons again. Or B, spend a little bit more money, get CP pistons, stock compression, because you don't want to go high compression with the 1J head because it'd be too much air and it wouldn't work. It would work, but not as good as stock compression would. So, and option B was to get CPs and get the block honed to 86.5, which is it's half over, right? Half a mil bigger. So now we have perfect cylinder walls all ready to go, and we have CP pistons. So we're doing stock GTE rods, CP pistons, 8.5 to 1 compression, 86.5, and then the same stuff as last time. Now this is a very weird freak accident. Doesn't usually happen. I know many people that have done the GE blocks, the GTE internals with no issue, but every single block is different. And of course, the one I had was one more, and that was what we think is what the problem is. So, it sucks. It really freaking sucks. But, I'd rather catch it now and we have time to do this than a week before an event, or, something happens later on. So, got the block honed out to 86.5. All brand new cylinder walls, ready to go. We didn't have it redecked because the deck is fine. It really ran for 30 seconds. But yeah, it's a big setback. Costs a lot more, but we do have CP pistons, 86.5 right here, 8.5 to 1 compression. And also, these are extremely hard to find right now, and they went way up in price. But luckily, I found a guy on Facebook that had these for really cheap, and I snagged them. And then, we're going to continue on and build this thing. Oh, I have filmed this so many damn times now. I'm bored of it. I'm not going to do a whole entire montage thing. I'm going to do a step-by-step of, the big steps, as in, the crank, and then just, the pistons and rods and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to do a whole thing again. I just want to get this thing built, ready to go, back in the car, running, and continue on from this damn crap I've been dealing with. Alberto's over it. I'm over it. It's just a freak accident that never, ever would expect. I guess everything happens for a reason, and now I have a better engine, which is cool. So, yeah.
Cylinders are not 20 years old.
Right, now they're brand new. 2022, let's go. These look really good, much bigger and smoother and all accurate, and have nice brand new pistons and a nice, we also got the crank micro polish just because we felt like it. So we are doing the CP pistons with the stock GTE rods. GTE rods are very, very durable for very, very high horsepower, and getting rods right now are out of the picture. So this setup will do fine for now. Very excited for it. It'll be an even better engine than before, and I'm excited to see the outcome. I know it looks funny using very, very nice pistons and stock rods, but as you guys know, getting parts right now is extremely annoying, and like it's just not going to happen. These will do just fine for now. If I wanted to do, you know, upgraded rods later on, we can, but this will be fine. But it does look kind of funny doing, you know, using brand new, very nice pistons with stock, you know, brown looking rods, but they're very strong and it'll work for now. But it does look pretty funny. You like that, Alberto?
Dirty is fine. Dirty
is fine? You like it dirty? Did you hear a little soup it made? Oh my God. All right, crank's going in. Step by step, making sure everything's perfect. Good so far. All right, got the full short block ready to go with the new pistons. Looking all nice and brand new, super shiny. Stoked on that. And tomorrow we'll come back, do the rest of the engine, get it all ready to go, get it in the car, and back to where we were. So, big hiccup, but we got it done pretty quick. But Rob at Central Florida Machine Speed, or Speed Machine, I forget what it's called, got this block done for me very, very, very fast. So I'm stoked on that. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect. And I know we didn't get it decked. You don't have to. It's still fine. There's still some excess stuff here, but it doesn't matter.
Like from basically just sitting moisture. But
yeah,
it was decked. It's literally a stain, but not like
you can't feel it.
Indentation or anything. Yeah.
There's no point in getting redecked and costing us extra money when it's perfectly fine. So don't worry about that. We're ready to go. We're getting out of here today. Tomorrow, come back and finish up tomorrow. All right, back home for the night, and while we have some time, I'm going to do the heat wrap on the downpipe, the new downpipe. So we do have some new Funk Motorsport titanium heat wrap right here. We will be using this today on the downpipe, so that's one. This is the smaller titanium heat wrap for like manifolds and stuff like that. Won't be using this today, but definitely in the future we'll be using this. And this is the exhaust wraparound blanket you can use on any kind of, you know, big tubular or whatever you want to use it for, like an exhaust or a downpipe. We were going to use this for the downpipe, but it's not going to fit with the firewall, so we will put this to the side for now and get back to that later in another video. But for today, we will be using the Lava Rock titanium exhaust wrap for the downpipe. The quality of this stuff can't even compare to any other heat wrap company, in my opinion. This stuff is amazing, looks super good, performs very well, helps a ton with heat, especially in the firewall area, kind of close to the passenger footwell, and helps keep temps down. This stuff is awesome. Definitely go check them out. I will put Funk's link in my description below. Go check them out. Awesome stuff. Definitely stoked to have him back on board this year for 2022. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, boom. Got this thing all wrapped up. The titanium heat wrap looks so good. I'm really digging the titanium look. It looks so much better than the black. It's like really gold, like silverish. It's like, looks freaking sweet. So I got it all wrapped up. Looks pretty good. And then tomorrow, back to Alberto's shop. Get the engine back in the car, all this downpipe stuff on, everything else, start the car, and be ready to go. So, again, thanks to Funk Motorsport for this heat wrap. This stuff's awesome. They're awesome. Go check them out. Link in the description. Alright guys, so it's a few days later, and we just went ham and got the thing done. We were very busy with doing other stuff as well, so we got the whole thing ready to go in the car. Engine is back in.
A day and a half.
Yeah. What?
In a day and a half?
A day and a half, fully built the new engine, and then put it back in the car. And we are good.
We worked like, what, an hour and a half yesterday?
Oh yeah, well that doesn't really count.
The rest today, from like the rest of the day. We did the rotating assembly yesterday, so it was crankshaft, piston, and rods, that's it. Then put the head, but just left it there, and then
came back
today and did everything else.
Everything. So literally the whole entire thing in one day in the car. It looks great as always, and I'm really excited to hear this thing. And we should be good to go now. Fresh cylinder walls, and hopefully have good oil pressure instantly. But I'm very excited. Fresh pistons too, yeah, CP pistons as well. So we got to upgrade as well. So even though we had a big mishap, we have a better engine now. So I am very excited. And again, I know, like I said, like I'm not going to film this for the 8,000th time. We just wanted to get it done back in the car. You guys already saw the same process as we just did just now. So it wasn't really worth me filming. But again, back in the car. I'm excited. Let's do this thing. Getting the distilled water in there with some water wetter. Now we can actually bleed this thing, because actually I got to film this too. I finally got the drift motion 1.5 JZ length tube, if you want to call it, to adapt the height.
Works. Show them your old tube.
So one of my old buddies made this amazing thing, and yeah, so we we blocked off the most important thing, and the engine wasn't getting enough coolant. So there's that. Now the one we have now is longer for the height, and it's an actual tube that water can pass through and go to the back of the motor and everywhere else. So kind of dumb, but again, about your mistakes. But all right, here we go. Pressure, good sign. Hell yeah! I gotta wait for the electric sensor to warm up, and it'll start working in a second. Hell yeah!
Hold it on 2500 for a second.
It sounds so freaking good, dude. What the hell? Alberto, rev it. Rev it. Oh, yes. High five. A lot of work. We busted butt on this. Alberto busted a lot of ass as well. Thank you to him. Hell yeah, dude. Motor sounds healthy. Always a good sign.
Dude, it's so easy to bleed. Like, you know,
I know.
Now it's
great.
like even. Now once it cools down, we gotta take the extra water out.
Yep,
So
yep.
It's all the way to the top here.
Woo! Man, that sounds freaking sick, dude. I know, but dude, it sounds so much like just F you. Woo! Good God. Woo! So stoked. Hell yes. Let's go. The turnout exhaust sounds so good too. Oh yeah. All right, so the 1.5 JZ is officially done. It is done and running. It sounds so good. Next step is get this thing home, button up a few little things, get it dialed, get it ready for the dyno, and head out from there. All right, gonna do a little lap around the block real quick. Sound good?
Yeah. That way.
So for the first time in a long time, the car is back home, fully finished, ready to go, running beautifully. The 1.5 JZ sounds amazing, very healthy, and I'm very, very excited that this thing's finally done. It's been very, very stressful and exhausting and expensive, and you know how it goes with these things, but in all, it takes a lot of work to do this stuff, and I'm very glad it is finally over. So I do realize you guys did get to see a little bit of a sneak peek of the new look on the car. The next video you guys will see a full description on that. The car looks amazing. I'm not going to go too much more in detail. It has been very, very hard to hide the new look of the car. I know there's some clips in there you guys have obviously seen, but I kind of gave up on it. It's really hard to, you know, hide the secret, but I wanted to do a big sick reveal in the next video you guys will see, so I can make this video just about the engine, and the next video all its own thing about the new look, so stay tuned for that. But all in all, this video I know has been kind of long and kind of all over the place. It's very, very hard for me to document all this when there's, you know, stuff going on, stress, the anxiety this brings me. It's a lot to take in, and it is exhausting in every way. But I'm very glad it's over. Me and Alberto busted butt and got this thing done. And it sounds great. It's healthy. It's going to be the this is going to be the engine. This thing's going to last a long time, and it's going to be very durable. We fixed all the issues in the wiring that caused us to lose the other engines. I am very confident in this motor. It sounds very, very healthy. It's brand new, and we fixed all the issues, like I said. So now, in the next video, it's time to show you guys the new look officially. In the video after that, we'll be getting this thing tuned and back on the track, driving, dialing this thing in, getting it ready for clutch kickers, and ready in general just to drive and have fun with it and do what it's made to do. So other than that, I'm exhausted, drained, and ready to go to bed. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon.